Well, welcome everybody. Happy Sunday. My name is Tia Knapp, and this is my friend.
My name is Dr. Michael Gross. Welcome, everybody. Thank you so much you can join us. We're so happy you could be here to share a message with you. But first, we want to show off our new chapeaus.
I suppose.
Yes.
These not. This is so comfortable, and I love what's written on it. Don't you think?
Oh, yeah. I love it. They're available if any of you are interested.
We are totally unlimited.
Yes,
How
we are.
cool is that, right?
Exactly.
Now, Michael is the author of Spiritual Primer. Gotcha.
Yes.
Best book I've ever read, and I highly recommend it if you're not sure what it's about. We'll give you a little golden nugget through this little presentation that we do. We do this every Sunday at 7 Pacific Daylight Time, and Michael is the author of this book.
And Tio is the author of Healing the Holes in Your Soul. And this is a very powerful book about motivation, about overcoming obstacles, physical, mental, and emotional obstacles, and a little bit about the power of your thought. And I'll share that with you.
And that's exactly the topic that we have today.
Oh my goodness, how'd
How
that happen? What a coincidence.
Right? But-
Gee whiz.
But first, what I want to share with everyone is that there's only one little piece that's scripted, and that's this little handy dandy thing that I have here, and that makes sure that I get everything right because Michael has a repertoire of experience and history regarding spirituality, and oh my goodness, so much more, And if it wasn't for this wonderful man over there, the book that he showed wouldn't have even been written. And I know for a fact that I would not be sitting here right now talking to you guys
Cool.
because I used to be incredibly shy. But that was past. And now we have the awesome present, ever growing more perfect. So on that note, yeah, that was one of Michael's quotes too. We are all perfect, ever growing more perfect. So here we go. Dr. Michael Gross is an author, professional keynote speaker, transformational coach, and an entrepreneur. For more than 3 decades, he has been on a spiritual path as an intuitive, a healer, a spiritual counselor, and an entrepreneur and a teacher. Did I read that wrong? Yep, I did. I did. Anyway, you get the gist, right? That's why we do this scripted part. Okay, through the guidance of spirit, Michael has assisted others in their personal quest for self-empowerment, helping them to create the lives that they have long sought and to bring forth their intuitive abilities. He currently teaches classes in spirituality, self-empowerment, Reiki, and other modalities. In concert with God, the true source, he has also achieved great success and miraculous healings. He remains humble, knowing that the work that he does all comes from God, the true source. Michael lives in Lakewood, Washington, and has just launched his nonprofit, and I'm going to let you
The
talk
International
about it.
Institute of Self-Empowerment. And it's all about helping souls, helping everyone. It's about developing self-worth, self-love, and self-esteem. And it's going to have 12 arms, figuratively speaking. And the first one is working and helping abused women, children, and men. And it's such a powerful thing that's happening today because it's all about empowering people. Now empowering you and yourself to make the right decisions in your life, to feel that you are free to make the right decisions, that your soul is telling you that you are worthy, you're a good, loving soul, and that you can achieve anything you so desire. Not about ego. It's about following your soul's urge. And because of that, working with TU, has been through the, figuratively speaking, wars and came out as a survivor. And working with her, I dedicated the first arm, so to speak, towards working with abused women, children, and men. And I'm so impressed with the work that she does and her knowledge, and I learned so much for her that I asked her to be one of the directors of the International Institute of Self-Empowerment, working with abused women, children, and men. So thank you. Appreciate it.
You're welcome. I'm so honored to be part of that. I can just see that this is going to be helping so many people, as we get going, and it's just going to be a benefit for not only the people locally, but globally, we don't know where it's going to all go. And that's okay. You cast a stone in the water, who knows where the ripple goes, right?
Exactly. So welcome everybody, and we appreciate it. And our subject matter today is the power of your thoughts.
I had an idea.
What is your idea?
Why don't we talk about the power of your thoughts?
Gosh, why didn't I think of that? I'm glad you thought of it.
Just came out.
And I'd like to address the power of your thoughts. And I believe, I don't like the word I think because I'm thinking, but really what I believe, give the anthology, an analogy of your thoughts. Think about everything, and every word, every thought has a frequency, vibration, and energy. And you think before you speak, even though it's instantaneous. You have to think of an answer. And in less than milliseconds, there comes forth the power of your thoughts. And since every word or thought or sound has a frequency and vibration, it's important to realize that your thoughts are electromagnetic, meaning there's an energy, a frequency, and vibration. It's magnetic, and eventually will draw into your life your thoughts. Now you have free will to think negatively, positively, neutral, insecurity, whatever you want to think about. But have we ever thought or understood that in your thoughts you are creating your life? And you are giving the power and the strength to create every thought you so desire and every outcome. Therefore, if you think you're going to be poor and never have enough money, you're going to be sick, you're going to be ill, you're unworthy, unloved, you have no self-worth, self-esteem, congratulations, you just created it in your life.
Yuck.
There's no entity or God, the true source, going, you're this or that. Hey, it's your choice. So now we are challenged to overcome the negativity in our life and our negative thoughts. Where do these negative or challenging thoughts come from? Notice I use the word challenging because I use the word negative, but really it's challenging. Challenging to overcome your fears and doubts and insecurities. Where did you learn them? Well, family, friends, relatives, children, maybe religious, and so on and so forth. Wherever you learn them. But they're in your life to show you for one specific reason. You want to live this way? Or do you want to change? You want to be behind the proverbial 8 ball? Or do you want to be in front? Followers follow and are like sheep. Leaders lead and open up new pathways. Do you want to be a follower or sheep? Or do you want to be a leader?
I don't want to be a sheeple.
You don't want a sheep? Oh, no.
I don't want to be a sheeple.
So that's so important because the director of your life, the producer of your life, and the chief actor or actress in your life is you. It's all up to you. So if your thoughts are feeling unworthiness, unhappy, depression, anxiety, congratulations, you won. If your thoughts are positive and everything is perfect and loving and joying in your life, you won. Problem with our society is we let others manipulate us. And as I talked about the week before, we're so insecure and unsure, we want somebody's opinion. And we want confirmation. The confirmation relies upon the power of your thought. The confirmation is the direction you take. Now, the direction you may take in your thoughts may not be successful now, but maybe 2 years later. There's one little secret ingredient that you would need that would make you successful. Some of you, since the joke is that I've been around since Abraham Lincoln, some of you remember Dick Tracy, and he would speak into his watch, and he would be speaking to the chief of police or whatever, and we laughed. We thought it was wonderful. And they came out with a watch that did it. And later on, you have your cell phones. and your computers. But if I came out with a cell phone 30 years ago, who needs that? And look how things have changed. When I was growing up and the younger first married, I had an accountant. And he says, I'm going to invest in spring water and bring out water. I go, wow, stupid. I got water in the faucet. It's free. Till I realized about, oh my gosh, chlorine and the taste of water. So here we are buying bottled water or purifiers. But 25, 30 years ago, you would laugh. Today, it's something that's very important.
Yeah, we drank out of a garden hose.
Yes, we did.
We didn't drink out of any bottled water.
No, we
We
didn't.
didn't have that then.
So, understanding all these things, look at the power of our thoughts. Sending a man to the moon or rocket ships or whatever has gone on. Now we're talking about artificial intelligence, robots, virtual reality. Somebody believed in something. Somebody thought something. They thought it and created it. But I want to narrow this down to your life. And I want to narrow it down to your thoughts. Because if you are the producer, director, and chief actor or actress in your life, it's time to review your thoughts. And where are your thoughts influenced? I talked about earlier about critical thinking, something they really don't teach in school anymore, or most schools don't teach it. When we look at critical thinking, it is, does this really make sense? And this is the way to go. And is this the right thing? And then listen to the thoughts of your soul if it feels right. It's so important. You know, this is a commentary of today. They don't teach civics anymore or the Constitution. They don't think it. And they also don't think about, you know, when we have a free giveaway stimulus or whatever, who's going to pay for it? There was a survey done, and I remember back in the late 70s, actually early 80s, it was a Long Island newspaper. And the question was, where does the money come from the U.S. government? From the U.S. government or from the taxpayers? The overwhelming people said, oh, the government has their own money. Now, think about that. Intelligent people, no critical thinking. Taxpayers, why do they pay a tax? So the government can run. It's that simple. There are many, many thoughts going out at this time. Many people living in fear and doubt. And again, the power of your thoughts. We've had so many illnesses and pandemics throughout the eons. And I sat there one day and I said, true source, why do some people come down with illnesses and why don't some people don't? And they came down to their thoughts, whether their belief system. When a new medication comes out, they have a medication for whatever it's for. And they have a placebo, sometimes they call it a sugar pill. And a certain amount of souls who take the placebo / sugar pill, they're healed. You're healed just like taking the medication. Do they teach us in critical thinking how do those people who don't take the medication but are fooled in thinking it is healed? And it's the power of your thought. What the mind can conceive, the body will believe. So interesting thought. So right now, we're going through inflation. And we've always gone through inflation. Things are always going up in price. But now you have the power of your thought. Do you want to be stuck in inflation? Or do you want to ride the winds of inflation and becoming more successful? Now, it's more than just raising your price of goods. It's attracting those things in your life that'll make your life comfortable and successful. You know, I ran across some articles and cookbooks about Depression era cooking. And that's when they didn't have too much. But they took the littlest things and made a huge meal out of it. Today we're spoiled. because in our critical thinking, we're looking for saviors, people to help us. The truth of the matter is, the only one you can help is yourself. Shakespeare wrote, "To thine own self be true." Think about that. Therefore, if critical thinking, which is part of your thoughts and the power of your thoughts, are creating your life, what is your direction in life? Now, many people will say, oh, well, I'm a victim, I'm this and that. Yeah, you're right. I will agree with you. You know why? Because you created your victimhood, or you believed in your victimhood. Now, many times I've talked about God, the true source, saying, there's no such thing as failure, Michael. Failure means success. We should learn what worked and didn't work. Isn't that really great? And that's not a euphemism. It's an example of how do you think of your thoughts? So Thomas Alva Edison, some say the number's different, but his friend said you failed to invent the electric light bulb and 1,012 times and you succeeded on 1,013, whatever the number was. You know what his answer was? I didn't fail. I learned what worked and didn't work. And that is so important. So in your thoughts, examine your thoughts. Examine your direction. What are you creating in your life? And that's so important. I run across so many people, and I remember I was in the nursing home business. And one of my patients said, God has punished me. God has punished me. I'm coming down with sickness or illness. And that's really an oxymoron, as Jesus and other avatars taught us. God, the true source, is unconditional, loving, allowing, and non-judgmental, always forgiving. Why would God punish us? That's an oxymoron. But somehow, some way, this person believed it. And in that belief system, they exacerbated the illness. And she survived. But it was very, very harrowing for her. Each morning when you get up, you need to begin to think about yourself. It's a new day. It's a new life. Truly is. Where are your thoughts going? Oh, I got to get up. There may be traffic. I got to put up with XYZ. I got to get this report done. Or whatever your thoughts are. Or I got to take the kids shopping. Or I got to pick them up at school. You know what? Think about that. What a beautiful thing you have is that you are creating a life of ease for yourself and your family. You go, how am I doing that? You're helping your children grow. You're showing you love them. You're going to work. You're taking on projects. And you are compensated for it. And with that compensation, you're enjoying your life. There's an old cliche, and I've mentioned it many, many moons ago. There's the 40-40-40 syndrome. Work 40 hours a week for 40 years and retire at 40% of your salary. Whoopee. Right.
I said something similar earlier today,
Yes, you did.
thinking, yeah, okay, that's where I am. Oh, that's where I was. Yeah, you're right.
But think about that. Are you grateful that you were able to work for 40 years, 40 hours a week, and you have 40% of your salary? You can always supplement it, get a part-time job, or you can give up your 27-bedroom house, I'm exaggerating here, for a 2 or 3 bedroom, in other words, downsize. Or you can become creative and find ways to bring more prosperity and abundance in your life. You're never locked into anything. If you're locked into it, it's self-imposed.
Can I ask you something?
Sure.
I have some friends, and obviously we won't name names, but the mindset is for so many people that are on limited income that they think they have to live within the limited income and not ever expand their resources for fear of losing the limited income they have. And that's like pushing them into this really narrow-minded mindset, isn't it? So how would they would have to find a way to get beyond that, to where they think it through. and be grateful for what you have, but don't think that that's all you can have. Is that right?
Exactly. So the power of your thought is they created a narrow box or a prison and they're locked into it. Now, that doesn't mean you can spend and buy Rolls Royces or whatever.
No.
Nope,
Darn.
not yet. But if that is your power of your thought, you desire one, something will happen in your life which will direct you so you can buy yourself a Rolls Royce or whatever you so desire, because you have that free will and free choice. But the power of that thought is limiting you. And that's the trap everybody falls into, the trap of limitations. Notice my hat and her hat. You're unlimited. And many of you are watching this and say, well, how can I change this? And the answer is, how do you want to change it? And the next answer is, meditate. Ask for God, the true sources, and your soul's direction in life to achieve your dreams, whether you're 10 years old or 100 years old, whatever you so desire. You know, it's interesting. You reach a point in life where less is more.
No kidding.
And less is more means that you don't need all the trappings, but you enjoy life. And I used to be an international consultant with human resources for corporations. And I remember one time when I was in Antigua, you would say Antigua, but they say Antigua. And I watched the people. Now I'm put up in a beautiful Italian villa, all the accoutrements and beautiful. And I would walk out and I'd see these children. They had one central water fountain. They had all these little houses. And they were going to parochial school. They had white uniforms that were starched. The whiter looked whiter than white, starched beautifully, which was done by hand. And they were singing and they were having fun, and even the parents were laughing. And every night they would go and get the water they needed from the fountain. They would cook dinner, do the laundry by hand, and they had rudimentary stoves, but they were happy and they were joyous. And that's when I learned less is more. Problem is we think we have to have more in our life. Critical thinking, power of your thoughts. And then we need one band-aid after another band-aid after another band-aid.
And they're not the ones in the box.
Exactly.
They're the ones you buy to make yourself feel good.
And then you reach a point that you need another band-aid, another band-aid.
And it has to be better than the other one.
Exactly.
Right?
And then you want to keep up with the Joneses. I'm reminded of what the Native Americans would say. And they said, enjoy the land wherever you are. Do whatever you want. When you leave, return it the way you found it. That's a very powerful footprint upon the planet. Enjoy everything and return it the way it was. Now, all of us are at a precipice in our life. And because of what's happening right now, because of inflation, and everything's getting so much more expensive, do I want to have the thought and the power of my thought that I am in lack, not having enough food or whatever? Or do I want to enjoy life? Really, inflation is a gift. It's a gift because what you're going to be forced to do is think twice how you're going to spend your money. And then you're going to be more creative with your thoughts. How can I have more fun without spending a lot of money? That's when you get back to nature. That's when you enjoy sitting there, watching your backyard, watching the squirrels or whatever's there, looking at the flowers of the grass, and enjoying life. They say the best thing about fishing is just sitting there and doing nothing, just relaxing.
That's what my dad loved. He would work hard all week long, and on the weekends he would get the boat and he would grab my grandfather, and the two of them would go out on the lake, drink beer and fish, and they didn't care whether they caught anything or not. It was the time that they were together and the time that they had to just relax and enjoy nature, just like what you said. Beautiful.
And how often do we do that? We're in our power boats or mobile homes or whatever we're doing, or motor homes, and drinking wine and doing that. Well, and in that sense, there's nothing wrong with camaraderie. But on the other hand, make your life simple. You can still have your Rolls Royce. The bottom line is, in your power of your thinking, is nothing must ever own you. That's what's so important.
Oh, yeah.
Nothing can own you. Many people say, no, well, can you live without this big house? Well, I mean, I worked hard for that big house. Can you live without the car? Well, I don't need it, but I want a big fancy car. The power of it, nothing can own you. Can you turn around and walk away from your home, your fancy car, and say, I enjoyed it. I'll give it to someone else to have fun. It's just a material thing. What time are we have?
Well, we need to start wrapping it up.
Therefore, let me just wrap it up. And that is in the critical thinking, the power of your thoughts. Manifest with your thoughts, with your energy, what brings you joy. And your soul automatically knows. It's not materiality. Could be getting a new car, the one that's falling apart, or whatever. But your soul already knows the direction. Listen. Listen to the power of your thoughts and your soul. So thank you, everyone. Thanks for joining us.
Boy, that was fun.
Yes,
That
it
was
was.
fun.
Time flew.
Yeah, I know. Okay, so we better get on with it. Michael we do this every Sunday at 7. And then Michael also does a call in on Tuesdays. Why don't you tell them about that a little bit?
That call is Tuesday evening from 6:30 p.m. to 7:30 p.m. Sometimes it runs over. And it's what I call a call in Words of Wisdom, where you have the opportunity to ask any questions about spirituality. And then I deliver a 10-minute motivational message. It's very empowering because it makes you think and answers a lot of questions. And I love doing it. I've been doing it for several years. I have
40, maybe 241, maybe.
252, 253 messages now.
That many?
That many. Wow.
No. Well, I better get back on that calculator and check on that. Because I know it's a lot.
Yes, it is.
You've been doing them for years. Okay, so if you want to get in on that on the Tuesday night, I should get the number, don't you think?
Yes.
Okay. I don't know where I went. I was in my thoughts.
That's okay.
Okay. Tuesday night, the call-in number is 202-926-1059. And
the access code is 125-446#.
Okay, one more time, and I'll make sure I put all the numbers in the contact below as well. Contact information in the comments. My goodness. Okay. It's 202-926-1059.
And the access code is 125-446#.
It's so
I have fun.
Well, I know. Okay. Now, he mentioned that he does a recorded call and at the end of the Tuesday night call. So can I give him that number too? All right. That number for accessing the recordings, which are great, they're about 10 minutes long. And that number is 434-300-4170.
And the access code is 125-446#. It'll ask you for what number you'd like to listen to. And it starts at number 3 and goes up all the way up to approximately 251. Don't try to figure it out. Your soul will say number 27. I don't know what it is. And you'll play it and you go, wow, that's the one. That's the one I needed to hear. You know why I know? Because so many people tell me. They just do it at random, but they realize they're being directed. So that's my suggestion to all of you. And you can do this when you're stuck in traffic, feeling depressed or down or whatever you need to do.
Perfect. And on the second Saturday of every month,
we do the mass consciousness healing. And we send mass consciousness to Mother Earth and to all its inhabitants. And that telephone number is
202-926-1059.
And the access code is 125-446#. And that's that's the second Saturday of every month. and it's from 9:55 a.m. Pacific time to 11:01 Pacific time. Everything is Pacific time. Also, I want to remind you, if you're watching this 7 p.m., this is our podcast that we do together. But also, you can go to YouTube and looking up Dr. Michael B. Gross, Dr. Michael B. Gross, and there are the recordings that I've done with beautiful pictures and wonderful, powerful sayings on it by T.U. Knapp. She's an award-winning photographer, and she's so kind to put some of my quotes on them. Actually, they're not mine, from the true source. And please press subscribe. We really appreciate it, because it's really important. Because my mission and goal is to reach the masses globally so that they can reconnect with God, the true source, to manifest their spiritual missions and goals. And this will open the doors to what your soul urges and why you came here.
That's so powerful.
It is.
Why we came here. So many people are wandering around wondering exactly, why am I here? And when you find out what that is, that's powerful.
It is.
So Michael has these beautiful inspirational quotes that I'm honored to put on my photos, and you can see those on his YouTube. You can also see them on our Facebook pages, and on Michael's YouTube page, he's also got his YouTube channel. He's also got every single recording that we've done since December of 2020.
20, I guess. We're not sure.
Yeah, I think it was. We've been doing them for over a year and a half, so definitely they're there, and I highly encourage all of you to take a little bit of time and go watch the videos and leave comments, and make sure you click the subscribe button, because that's how we get the message out to the masses. We really appreciate everything that you teach us, Michael.
Thank you.
And your time that you give us. If you're into meditating, even if you're not, definitely come with us on the second Saturday of the month. And all the numbers are in the contact info comments below, okay? On that note, Michael, you ready?
All right. And I want to remind everyone to take a look at this book, order the book, read the book. It's motivational, it's empowering, and it can inspire you to change your life, to create the life that your soul so desires you to accomplish, not only in this lifetime, but with your family, friends, and relatives. This is the book that you so desire.
Start here, though. Start with this book, because this is very, very powerful. And because of this book and this man, that book was written. It wouldn't be here if it wasn't for these two, these two. I was just say these two guys, but you know what I mean. Okay. So on that note, it's time to roll.
It's time to roll.
It's time to roll. Hopefully we'll see you guys next Tuesday. Goodness. Next Sunday night at 7. We look forward to any comments. If you have a topic you'd like for us to talk about, put it in the comments.
And please tell others about this wonderful messages that we bring to you. Thank you, everyone. Have a great week, because you are unlimited. Namaste. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.